we get too deep into where I've gotten so far today, I want to correct an error I've been making all through this build. It concerns this, namely the kit supplied canopy. With the kit supplied cockpit in place, it is possible to take the kit supplied canopy and install it from the outside. You can also do this with the photo etch cockpit in place. The problem I had with the Solaria flight build was the way I cast the cockpit inside the fuselage. It left no place for the canopy to wedge in on the sides. That's where the mistake came from. It was not an engineering problem on the part of the Mobius company. The cockpit can be installed from the canopy can be installed from the outside. Let me clarify again. The canopy can be installed from the outside. I apologize to any of those I have confused with my own confusion. Now, to where we've actually gotten so far tonight. As evidenced by the substantially shortened fuselage here, I have taken my razor saw. I have not glued this part of it together, and in fact I have the kit cockpit installed temporarily to stabilize the fuselage while I did my cutting. But taking the line straight back from where the wing made its bend, took my razor saw, cut straight line to both top and bottom pieces on both sides. I glued the nose of the fuselage together, and while it was still in place, using the intake as a guide, I cut it down. With that done, I am probably going to go in and take that bar out so I can insert this deeper into the fuselage to give the shortened nose found on the prototype. That's where we sit. Major modifications of this thing are just about done. I am probably going to glue a piece of sheet styrene across those openings to give me a better mating surface for the Raider wings, and to give me more surface to mate with it. But that is where we're sitting at the moment. Stay tuned. Okay, back at work. Work on the fuselage is basically done for the most part here. I cut the nose down and inserted it into the rest of the fuselage, giving a similar shortened profile to the prototype. I've gone in, filled the gap with Aves epoxy sculpt. I have also glued the halves of the fuselage together. Going to need a little seam touch up, but not a lot. Mostly along in here where the rubber band got into the glue part of the seam. But cockpit's in place. Fuselage is just about ready to go. At this point, I need to make the blocking pieces for the wing ends, and then I'll be ready to put the wings on. Slowly but slowly, we're getting there. Alright, picking up where I left off in the last update. I've added the styrene fillers to the wing stubs using the sanding bit in my Dremel and some sanding. Got them shaped to fit the openings that used to be there. I have the Aves still in the nose waiting for it to cure up. But at this point, I'm about ready to actually put the wings on. And from that point, I'll figure out if I'm going to do the landing gear down or up. Stay tuned. More to come. And the very busy day on the bench is nearly over. But, biggest thing I got done today, I have mounted the wings. Flip this up so we actually get the whole thing in here. There we go. I admit I pretty much eyeballed the alignment. It's turned out pretty good. Just a little bit of filling I need to do. I also need to go in and do something with these details here. But with that done, gotta sand the nose and install the landing gear. And we're getting there. I could be ready for paint very soon here. Very soon. I'm happy. Okay, ignoring some of the clutter on the bench, as you can see, I have mocked up what final assembly will look like. Granted, I've got the cowling and the engines in purely, at this point, for show purposes. Mostly because it'll be easier to paint them when they're not. Last thing I've done at this point is put in the landing gear and the landing gear doors. I also went in and put in a piece of plastic as a filler over the hole for the stand. I can explain that, and the build itself as something that was needing patching, or a system that they needed to go back in and look at before test flying it. But at this point, the Viper Raider hybrid, also known as the Shadowdemon, is ready for primer.